Welcome to our channel Blender Tips. In this tutorial, you will learn that how we can create the procedural marble material in Blender with the help of nodes. And here you can see that I add a lot of nodes into the shader editor to create this procedural marble material. And here I put in all the essential value or parameter into the group input node to control this procedural marble material easily. And by pressing tab, here you can see the custom node of the procedural marble material, and from here you can easily control the colors and different parameters of this procedural marble material. And here you can see that by changing the color, you can change the color according to your requirement, and also here you can also change the another color of this procedural marble material. And here are the list of another parameter like distortion, and here you can see that the material is distortion, and here the curly lines, scale, details and roughness. And from here you can control these curly lines of this procedural marble material. And here if I increase the curl distortion, then you can see that the lines are distorted. And here are the other parameter to control this procedural marble material. And if you want to download this marble material along with all of my other procedural material, then you can visit my Patreon page and Gumroad stores. Links are in descriptions. So let's start. I open the Blender and set up the scene, and here you can see that this is the 3D viewport, and I am in camera view and also in a rendered view. And here you can see that I add two different objects. This is the icosphere and this is the Suzanne. And when we enter into the edit mode of these, then here you can see that these are the highly subdivided objects. And this is the shader editor, and here I rename this material procedural marble material, which I am going to create. So let's start. First, by pressing shift A, here I add the noise texture and place the noise texture somewhat like here. And by press Ctrl T, this will be at the texture coordinate and mapping. This is due to the node regular add-on, and here I use the objective coordinate. And here by pressing Ctrl Shift and select noise texture, you can preview the noise texture. And this is also due to the node regular add-on because I enable the node regular add-on. And if you want to enable this node regular add-on, then you go to the edit and then preferences, and here in add-on you just type here node and check mark the node regular add-on. And here I change some value of the noise texture, and here I add the scale up to 10 and also increase the detail up to the 14. Beautiful. And now I add the Voronized texture, and for that by pressing shift A, here I add Voronized texture and place the Voronized texture here. And here I change the scale types of the Voronized texture, something like distance to edge, and also press Ctrl Shift to preview this, and also decrease the scale up to 4. Beautiful. And here I add the mix node between the Voronized texture and noise texture. By pressing shift A, here I add the mix, and here I choose the type color and place this mix between the noise texture and Voronized texture. Beautiful. And here I put the noise texture into the B, and also use this mapping into the A of the mix shader. And here you can see that the curly lines are appear on our object. And here I want these curly line more contrasty. So for here by pressing shift A, here I add the color ramp and place the color ramp here, and also set up these curly lines. So I make these curly line more contrasty by dragging this white pointer near to the black pointer, something like this. And here I add some more pointer. So, and here place the cursor, and by pressing Ctrl and click, this will be add the more pointer. And here I change the values of this pointer, and here I make it fully black, and here I also make it some light gray, something like this. Beautiful. And adjust the position of these pointers, something like here. Beautiful. Now it's looking beautiful. Due to this, you will see some black areas in between the curly lines. And now I want these curly lines are appear in some part of this object and disappear on another part. So for that, here I add the noise texture and place the noise texture something like here, and also use the same mapping into the vector of the noise texture. And by pressing Ctrl Shift and select the noise texture to preview this, and here I increase the scale something like 12, and here I increase the detail up to the 14. Beautiful. And now I want to make these noise texture more contrasty. So by pressing Shift A, here I add the color ramp and place the color ramp here, and here I adjust this pointer something like this, and also place this to make it beautiful, nice. And here I add the mix. So for that, by pressing Shift A, here I add mix, and here I change this type to the color and place this into the factor. And here I, by pressing Ctrl Shift to preview this, and here I want to make the types of this mix like lighten. Here I choose the lighten, and here I put this value of the color ramp into the A. Beautiful. And here I make it fully bright. Beautiful. Now it's look better. Now I want to add some patches to this shader. So for here, by pressing Shift A, here I add the noise texture and place the noise texture something like here, and I use the mapping and into the vector. And by pressing Ctrl Shift here to preview the noise texture, and here I increase the detail up to 12, and also roughness up to 14, and here I increase the distortion like 0.400, and this will be restore a little bit distortion to the noise texture to make it more contrasty. And here I Shift D to duplicate this color ramp and place the color ramp something like here, and by pressing backspace, this will be reset the color ramp. And here I choose this and make it a light brown something like this, and also move this something like this. Beautiful. Now it's look better. And I want to mix this color ramp with this uh, mix. So for that, here by pressing Shift D, I want to duplicate this, and here I use this value into the A, and here I use this value into the B, and here by pressing Ctrl Shift, you can preview this. Beautiful. And now here I choose the type darken. Now it's look more better. Beautiful. Now I want to add the color of this marble procedural marble material. So for that, here By pressing shift A, here I add the mix and choose it into the color and place it something like here, and also into the factor. Beautiful. And here I choose the color of this. Here I choose some light blue color, something like this, and here I choose the dark blue color, something like this. Also make it more dark. Beautiful. Now it's looking better. And here I place this principal BSTF in between the mix and material output to view this material in real time. And here I increase this clear coat value. This will be made this material more shiny, and also increase the roughness something point 100. Beautiful. Now the material is look like a more shiny. To control the roughness, here I add the another node setup. By pressing shift A, here I add the noise texture and place the noise texture something like here, and here I use the same mapping and place it here, and by pressing Ctrl Shift you can preview this noise texture. Here I set the value of the noise texture. Here I type something like 10, and also increase the detail something like 5, and here I add color ramp, make it more contrasty, and place the color ramp something like here, and also put into the roughness, and by pressing Ctrl Shift you can preview the material. And here I want to control the roughness, select this pointer, and here I make it more light to make this material more rough, and I think here is better. And here by pressing shift A, here I add the hue saturation value something like this, and from this value we can control the roughness, and here we can see the difference. Beautiful. And here is the final procedural marble material is ready, and by pressing F12 you can preview the final render of the material. And here is the final render of the procedural marble material. Thanks for watching.